Hello, and welcome to Dead Reckoning. High Rollers. This is the anti-hero campaign we do here. We are from High Rollers, Dungeons & Dragons, which is on twitch.tv/Yogscast, but here we are on twitch.tv/D&D.
Yes.
To do our anti-hero mini-series, Dead Reckoning. I am your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes, and joining me we have Chris Trott from Hat Films.
Hello.
Kate Morrison.
Hello.
Tom Hazel.
Hello.
Editor and Goblin, clearly.
And Kim's height.
Kim Richards, who is now a cat mum.
Hi! I'm not a cat mum!
You kind of are.
Kind of are a cat
Kiss
mum.
my arse.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. There's also lots more awesome D&D content every day here on twitch.tv/D&D. So make sure you check that out. But right now, we're going to jump into a little brief recap of what happened in our last adventure. And we begin jumping straight in to a bit of play. Our party is Our party is comprised of dubious characters of less than heroic nature, and they have been sent to the kingdom of Thay to try and track down the source of a new and unknown death curse, which is affecting everybody across the Forgotten Realms, including the Fortipart Committee members themselves. They've made their way to a Red Wizard enclave after much political machinations and things going on in the city. They've made their way here and found it strangely quiet, and they've begun investigating. They've fought some undead. They found a room full of traps.
Don't
And they are mainly here to try and learn if the Red Wizards are responsible for the death curse or if they have learnt anything about it. And that is where we begin today. You had just fought the White and you'd been interrogating him, and you were about to proceed into a tower. In fact, Tholshank was investigating the door for traps. To see if there was any traps. So the three, Taryn, Malice, and Worthless are disposing of bones and bodies.
Sorry, we didn't have the character introduction.
No, I'm not going to do that this time. I'm sick of that joke. I'm sick of you.
Okay.
Worthless.
Wait! You're not wearing a purple shirt.
It's grey.
It's great.
It's purpley.
Who the fuck are you?
Sorry, it's purpley, it's grey.
Not purpley in any way.
Do you not
got
see a little
dog
bit?
vision?
Do you not see a little bit of blue in here?
No, I see grey.
Grey on grey.
I mean, it looks purpley.
In the
to me.
lighting, it will look purpley, yes, but to us.
Grey like my
Anyway,
It's purplely.
you were about to make Taryn, Malice, and Worthless were disposing of the skeleton bodies
Throwing
and the
things
White
into the
into the sea,
Yes.
whilst Tholshank and the succubus
Tholshank.
Lilith
Yep.
were investigating the door after a little
So
conversation.
Lilith is still here. Good.
I wonder if by the end of the campaign he'll say Tolshank instead of
No.
Tholshank.
It's spelt Tholshank, so that's what I'm going to
Thomas
say.
is spelled with TH.
Oh, so now he's going to call you
Thomas.
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 Thomas, hey Thomas.
Fun fact, throughout uni, very start of uni, I said, it's Thomas without the AS. And they took that literally.
Thomas.
So I was Thom the entire,
Thom.
in my official emails and things like that, it was THOM.
Very close to thumb.
Very close to Thumb.
Corporal
Who
Thumb.
was a corporal.
Tom Thumb.
Anyway.
Investigation.
Oh.
That was a slow roll.
was-
10.
Your dice are really awkward. 10 total, was that?
10 total.
Okay, so looking around, you can't see any traps. It is locked.
Cool. It's locked. I have
Sorry,
tools.
sorry.
Lilith is like, I'm sure you do.
Sorry.
At this point, the three of you return.
Don't remember saying that one out loud.
You haven't opened the door yet.
What door is this? Is this the tower?
This is a tower on the southwest
That one.
southwest
The one
corner.
by the sea.
It basically is built on partially onto the sea.
Yeah, so it's basically the one we were heading towards before the guards saw us.
Yes.
I'd like to lockpick the door, please.
Okay, so this is basically you use your proficiency bonus and dex modifier.
I'm going to stand away from the door.
Okay.
Just as is standard practice.
Standing behind
Forevermore.
Unnatural 20.
Okay, so Tolshank, and you hear it unlock, and you can open it if you want to.
If I want to. Why didn't you let me open it? Like, why didn't you just go straight into, you open the door, you see the room.
Because I can't make that assumption. If I make that assumption and it's trapped, you'll be mad at me.
If I make that assumption and I die. Oh, so it's my decision that I die now.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's always your
Absolutely.
decision.
Shall I open the door? I'm gonna...
What would Toll do?
Told would just open everything, apparently. I'm angry at myself.
I'm glad you've come to that realisation.
It has been a week for me to think about it.
It hasn't. There's been a few minutes. We've had lunch.
I will grab the handle.
Get a real
Yes,
tough
you're
lever.
wearing the handle.
Whoa.
It's so easy.
I'm going to grab the underside of the door. I'm going to loop my hand
The
underneath
underside.
and then yank it open from there.
That's fine.
I open the door.
You open the door. It leads into what appears to be a kind of mixture of larder and storeroom. You can see that hanging up there are racks of dried meats, there are sacks of grain, there is sacks of potatoes and rice, there is herbs and spices.
Herbs.
I'm looking in there.
There is an actual kind of physical climb ladder that goes up onto a second story, into a trapdoor.
This is pointless.
How dated is the food? Like, does it look like it's... is any of it
It's
off
fine.
or anything?
No, none of it's off.
It's a storeroom.
Did he get a splinter opening the door?
He did not.
We are not going to get the information of the source of the death curse from some grain.
No, true, but we know they are getting regular deliveries.
Probably through the by
So
boat.
impatient, dear Taryn. Little Gnome does make a point. This does give you some information.
And how does that help?
Well, we know it's an active fort. People are coming in, bringing in grains and food. Where does grain and
Until
food come
everybody
from?
got slaughtered and put into the main base.
Where did
Well,
the grain
from
and
this
food...
we can gather that there are human or humanoid people here who
What?
actually need food.
And you understand, and you
Red
know
wizards
that,
need food, yes.
and you know that the attack must have been recent, or as the gnome pointed out, the food would have spoiled by now. So it must have
Fantastic.
happened very recently.
It means that while there may be some undead, the majority seemed, for the amount of food, seem to be.
Well, they're probably all slaughtered because I sensed a lot of death.
On the bags and crates and whatever else, is there any sort of where they came from? Or like, you know, this is headed for this place? Or does it seem like it's potentially been taken off people as they're entering into a city for a
No, there's no
chance?
real signs of things like that. The crates, it's not like shipping crates.
Right.
It's more like things to store things in.
Like a bag of grain.
Like you know, like they've used an old empty crate to store all of the potatoes in.
Yeah.
Like there's a Hessian sack in there and things like that. It's not like they've
trade
taken it off a
goods,
ship. It's not trade goods. Yeah, no.
But what I mean is like the multiple sacks of potatoes, for example.
They don't
are-
have any markings on them.
Are they all in the same sacks? Are they
Yes.
in... Oh, okay, so it could have been just from one place. Fair enough. Okay.
Are they different breeds of potatoes?
Mainly red potatoes.
Oh, red ones are good, yeah.
I'm going to cut off
Those are called apples.
Is there any? Well, we can gather that this is probably.
a storeroom. Yes.
Well, yes, but they didn't trap the door. It's the first door that we've come across that hasn't been trapped.
Are you a little tense, dear? I can help you with that, you know. You seem tense.
Yes, let's fight.
Depends on the definition of fighting.
I use my sword. I run you through.
What kind of sword?
Oh, good.
I think the lady...
Did you not see that one coming?
I think the lady wants to do something else that begins with an F.
Well, that will... we'll get to that. You still have a few days of my services before I'll require my payment.
Let's move on from the storeroom.
Well-
I'm not hungry.
Before we do,
It's almost like he's trying to antagonize the large armored man. It's very amusing.
It's very easy. Just call him Mr. Shiny.
I've completely forgotten her name. What's her
If
name?
you
Mr. Shiny.
if you happen
Mr.
to
Shiny.
open that trap door
Shiny.
and anything harmful happens,
Well, no, I'm not thinking about the trap door as
What
such.
will be up there?
Well,
In your mind?
it's worth looking.
Hurry up and go ahead.
Well, hang on. What's the
Old lady needs
what's
to
the
pee.
succubus name again?
Lilith.
Lilith. That's the one. Writing that down. Right.
A rare note from Tom Hazel. Must be
I
important.
just apparently did not write down Lilith.
You've
Yes, I
written
did.
down a lot.
last time he wrote something is when he drew the wand.
Yep.
That was like 3 episodes
That was
ago.
a
That was
while
what the
ago.
Orcus wand.
What you doing?
I mean, you can clearly see things that we mere mortals
No.
don't necessarily.
There is an ability, I can see invisible things, but it requires some of my magical energy.
Just wondering if you can tell. Maybe you just go up there. We'll check the outside, and you just have a little look around.
Yep, it's a tower.
She rolls her eyes, steps outside,
Maybe look at the
sprouts her
trapdoor,
wings, flies up. She flies back down.
Wait.
After about a few minutes,
Okay.
she lands. She comes back in. There was a small slit-like window that I peered through. It does appear to be some sort of quarters. I saw a small bed, some small furniture
Right.
of some nature. It does not look as opulent as the one that you encountered all the traps in.
Okay. So while she was up there, because I wanted to get her to leave for a bit so I could talk to everyone else.
Oh yeah, you've got like a few minutes.
Okay. So you all heard what the White said when they saw the no one
I did.
else.
I told you what he said. He said, "Are you not summoned by the one who summoned the rest?"
And we
Because she was attacking him, and he was like, "What are you doing? You're not summoned by the one that was
and
summoned."
we
by
know
the
there's a
rest."
demon who's apparently been rooting around here.
Right.
I mean, is there a chance that maybe? And I suppose if Valex isn't around to influence my decisions now and her beauty and whatever,
Yeah.
then I'm not under that sort
No,
of spell.
you're not.
I mean, is there a chance that she might actually be against
source.
us? Or the source?
Potentially.
Potentially, but what can
What
we do about it?
Can we
realistically?
believe a demon?
A demon that wants your seed.
See, a demon, the other demon
Oh,
that's been summoned by, they're going to be under the command and spell of the person that summoned them, right? So they will not betray them for us. So is it worth even engaging with them knowing that?
well, I'm just saying, someone summons demons.
It's good to be aware of it in case we are betrayed.
Right.
I think that's probably the point where
Yeah.
she would be coming back.
Well, I think you're right. Maybe not worth looking at. Then
It's not going to hold any answers. If the one before it had magic journals, but I think that if we need to find anything out, it's going to be in that big building.
On the opposite side.
the
Yeah.
one with the big machine.
Well, my
on
dear
top that
Taryn
shoots
did
stuff.
mention that he sent some sort of necromancy
I'm not
below.
your dear.
Oh, you're dear to me.
Anyway,
I'm going to walk out,
Okay.
back the way we came along the wall.
Okay, so you're going to go up the stairs and along the walkway.
Yes.
Yep, okay.
I'm going to the big place.
Slaughterhouse.
yes, the
Yes.
slaughterhouse.
There is a way up there from the ground level. You can go up through the courtyard and then towards the main doors leading into the large keep.
I think Taryn would retrace the steps knowing that it's...
Yeah, I wouldn't want to stay go near the demon.
So you're going to make your way
And
back.
there was a doorway.
There wasn't, no.
There wasn't.
No, there wasn't.
So we'd have to get back onto the ground. Is there a
There's
staircase?
stairs.
Yeah, the stairs leading down. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well,
To the right.
Taryn would backtrace back to the way we came in the entrance, and then continue up and go down the steps that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so I know, so Taryn's leading the way. Give me a running order. Who's where? So you've got Taryn in front,
Taryn,
Whoever's.
Ulrich,
Ulrich.
And I
Malice.
feel like you
Malice.
might be quite close. Since
I'll be
Worthless.
near Lilith.
You're near Lilith. So what? Tolshank, Lilith, worthless. Okay. So as you guys are walking your way back, Lilith is going to whisper to you. She's going to come and she's just going to whisper and just be like, "My dear worthless, obviously I remember what you spoke to me on the journey here. I know it is a sensitive matter for you. I've been thinking and talking with individuals that helped summon me here, and there is one who would like to help you, but it may be better if we can get a moment to try and talk alone in more detail. I think I can help you with a number of problems."
Individuals who summoned you here. I thought it was just my dear Valix.
Well, Valix works for a higher power, as you know.
Lord Orcus.
She just nods. Smile.
A moment you may have.
I think it best if, yes, perhaps find a moment away to talk from the others. You may need to, depending on what your wish is, you may need to have more direct contact. And she just leans back into the group. Was you making a perception check by any chance? What did you
a
get?
natural 20.
You hear most of that.
Can I do a perception just to see like how deceitful she's doing?
Insight.
Yeah, because Worthless doesn't
Insight
really
check.
trust her anyway.
Well,
Okay.
you did you revealed quite a lot of information.
Yeah,
to her.
but
So,
she's used to
Used
being
to- yeah.
wary.
So insight.
18.
18. You get the sense that considering that she helped you before, it comes from a place of actually, it does seem like she wants to help you. Like, what she mentioned before. And she did mention that, things like Orcus and others may be interested in helping you as well.
For a price? My soul?
Maybe.
You have one?
But depends on
Apparently.
depends on what Worthus is willing to obviously bargain, like how important certain things may be to us. So yeah, she just says that as you guys make your way back. You make your way back along the walkways, you edge around the tower from the trapped room, and then you make your way down to the...
Clang, clang, clang.
You're making a lot of noise, but you don't seem to draw any attention. When you get to the larger building, you do pass a window when you're coming down the stairs, and looking inside, it's bloody. You see maybe 20 bodies piled around the room, many of them cut, many of them slaughtered, arms ripped off. You can see blast marks of magic, fire. Most of the furniture's been destroyed, and it's kind of covered the room.
Are the bodies wearing red wizard robes?
They are indeed.
Ooh, this party looks like it was fun.
Quite the little gathering.
Wonder if their plans backfired or if someone else is in control the whole time.
Well, that little white fellow did say that, what was it, one of them attacked the others or something?
Maybe they lost control.
Rounding the corner from the window, you can see a large set of double doors, and the door is semi-open. It's kind of ajar.
Can I tell anything from the bodies, like if they were experimented on or like in line with the stuff?
The window's a little bit frosted. You can see the vague shapes. If you want to peek in through the door, is that what you want to do, or are you going to wait until the door's fully opened?
Is there any traps?
Do you want to make an investigation check?
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Looking around, the door's ajar. You don't see any holes for dart traps or spears. This looks like it has quite a lot of footfall traffic. You don't think that there are any traps around this area. Or certainly nothing which can act as a mechanism to activate them.
Can I nudge it open with my spear? But from the side!
It pulls out. It pulls outwards. So you can wedge it in between the gap, and then you can try and lever it open.
Yeah.
I'm going to ready myself with grief in case anyone...
It takes a bit of heft, but and the door opens, nothing happens. Looking inside, yes, you see basically a scene of carnage. It looks to be some sort of common room. There are tables and chairs, library kind of bookshelves on the walls and things like that. You can see at the rear of the room there are 2 doors that lead into other rooms. There is also a section of the wall that has been opened and reveals a staircase going down. The common room is littered with bodies of red-robed wizards. Most of them are young, bald of head. Some of them have goatees or moustaches or short beards. And they have been torn apart. You can see that several of them have got black holes through their chests. Some of their heads have been torn off. It's very violent, and the room is covered in blood and gore.
Yeah. We're going to investigate the bodies, see what kind of marks there are, if they're claws, or if there's any remnants of rotting flesh, or anything like that.
Medicine check would probably be a good one for that, or an investigation.
While they're checking for that, can I see if there's any evidence that they were killed in this room or they were killed somewhere else and dragged here?
So give me a survival check, and you can Hunter's Bane, so you have advantage.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
15.
15. So, looking at the bodies, you quickly ascertain. You've seen wounds like this before when you've been fighting against things like demons and stuff like that. Yep. The claws very reminiscent of powerful clawed creatures like demons. The force to tear the limbs off requires immense strength. Likely a very powerful sort of creature has literally ripped them limb from limb. The blast looks like magic. It looks like people that have been hit by spells and killed by magic.
Okay, you go, sorry.
There is no signs of necessarily rotting flesh.
This
13.
is the signs of a demon
They were killed here.
that slaughtered everybody. Is it likely that Valix Windows has
Velux.
Are you whispering this
summoned this demon ahead of us to slaughter for whatever purpose they have?
I mean,
Would
it came
we?
because it was meant to have gone silent.
Exactly. yet there's already signs of someone else meddling and doing something here. The only person we know that's been summoning demons is the person that's summoned Lilith.
Although, the Red Wizards have clearly been working on some powerful necromancy and more.
So they're likely
They've
to
been
have
studying
summoned.
necromancy.
It could be that
could
they
have.
were trying to,
Wield the power
well,
of a
and it
demon.
went out of control.
You are unlikely to trust me, considering the way that your suspicions are casting, but the Red Wizards do deal with demons themselves.
Could I look
Are they
around?
stupid enough to deal with something that they cannot control?
The Red Wizards crave power above everything else. They have summoned demons and worked with them in the past.
They seem like learned people. They had books on how to deal with it.
They
We are also dealing with something that's literally called a death curse.
True.
They might not know what they're dealing with at all.
Many smart wizards can summon demons and bind them in contracts or use certain measures to protect themselves. Others, who are perhaps a little too ambitious, have fallen victim to their own creatures.
Knowing there is a demon here from the white, I mean, it's highly likely that's happened.
Worthless has a thing.
Worthless speaks of herself now.
She tries to work out if that was an insult. Kind of goes a little bit cross-eyed.
Yes, Worthless?
The Lord Orcus, the nice lady, she said Lord Orcus was furious that someone was doing this death curse and
That's
it wasn't
true.
him.
That is true.
That reinforces the belief that the Red Wizards were doing such.
Something that they didn't have control of.
If the Red Wizards do not have control of this thing,
Then
What?
I don't think that we have much hope.
what chances do we have? Yes.
Is there anything in this room that seems almost ritualistic or summoning circle style?
Not in this
something?
room. This
Okay.
is slaughter.
Yeah.
Looking around it, it just looks like these people were in the room and were attacked.
Does it look like the wall that's opened to a passage down? Are there any bodies that have tried to go there or have come from there by the look of things?
Yeah.
No. There's none running to it or from it.
Okay.
Are there demon scratch marks on the stonework of
You
this?
can give me an investigation check to find some more detail.
Yeah, I
of
want to
that.
look for
Nope.
some.
Can't really see it. It's hard to tell. It's you're looking around like the worn stone. It looks like somebody opened a secret door.
Okay.
You can't
Outward?
tell. Yes, it
Into
opens
the room.
outwards. Yeah, into the room.
Where the bodies and
Bless you.
where the
And
where
yeah.
the bodies and blood spray mostly is it towards the back of the room or is it towards the door of the main door?
It's kind of everywhere. It looks like maybe, looking around, now that you're asking the right questions, it looks like maybe the Red Robe Wizards were maybe sat down enjoying a meal, because some of them are still sat at tables or things like that. The ones closest to the door are slumped against the tables. They've been blasted by magic. The ones further into the room are the ones who have been torn apart, thrown around like rag dolls.
Right.
So it might seem like something that's come through the front,
And
initially
attacked them.
blast,
Yeah.
and then the people at the back got trapped in.
Yes, basically.
So this is
Does-
an attack from the outside rather
Yeah.
than the inside.
Yeah.
Can I tell if it's like one thing that's attacked them or have they been attacked from multiple sources?
Difficult to tell. You can give me a survival check with advantage because it is related to demons.
14.
You suspect it was probably multiple, but not all of them are demons. There are marks where they've been blasted by magic and things like that. It looks like perhaps one large powerful creature and then many smaller wounds, like magical wounds. Almost like magic missile blasts and lightning bolts and things like that.
Ah,
Carry on.
but only Red Wizards have the ability
Kim-
to.
I think Kim wrote cock on the top of my drink.
Why would you suspect me?
In Fae, only Red Wizards can use magic in this way. So
Fae,
either
but
they're
that's-
foreigners that have invaded for a different purpose and use demons as well, or Red Wizards have turned on each other.
Did the white that we encountered outside, did that not speak of a red-robed man attacking
Yes,
the others?
With a black beard.
With a black beard.
So there's some sort of mutiny going on, or
Perhaps
someone
one
working
of their
on-
own has attacked them.
Or perhaps we're wearing red robes. Maybe that's just someone from the outside who's put them on.
That is very likely. Could be trying to set up.
I think we'll find out more below the staircase.
Did you just call him a penis?
I said it's meant to be a penis.
Okay.
Anyway.
Can I go over to the staircase and like kind of peer down?
Yeah, it's a spiral staircase leads down, maybe about 50 feet, 60
So
feet.
you're stabbing with the spear into the floor.
Trapsies?
By all means.
What's thing? I'd know by now.
Investigation. If you're testing it with your spear.
15.
15. You kind of probe around. You don't notice any of the same pressure plates and things like that you did before. But it does get very dark as it gets further down. Do you have dark vision?
Yes. Yep. 60 foot.
60 foot.
I think Taryn's the only one who doesn't.
Anyone who doesn't.
Yeah.
So those of you with dark vision, as you look down, the spiral staircase blocks off some of the view. But you can see scorch marks, like on the very edge of like where your vision goes. You can see scorch marks, as if something exploded down there.
Is there any damage
There's a
to the
smell.
stairs?
There's an acrid smell.
Okay.
No, the stone looks very sturdy, but you can smell burnt flesh.
Smells like lunch. Mr. Gnome, you first.
Well, I do believe that seems only fair.
Great. Well,
So I just remember
Before when he tried to jump,
You still.
so tickled.
what is it that gets you? The fall or the stumbling with a crossbow?
I think it was just how confident
It's very
it
Charlie
was.
Chaplin, like boo boo.
Get around to save the dough. Fuck.
It was
something
how
where-
confident you were, then going, well, I guess I'll
Shit,
end
that's
my
what it
turn.
there was an old video where there's a guy, like a karate guy, that goes, ha! It does a backflip, slams his head on the ground, tries to get up with nunchucks, and then stumbles around.
Okay.
That with Tolkien with a crossbow.
And then the Minotaur lands on him.
Good. The door.
There's not a door.
Oh, there's not a door. Sorry, staircase. Yeah.
kind of nudged you towards it. Go on. Down you go.
What is this? A check of perception?
I don't know
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I mean, I'm just,
You never
Get
told
down
me
them
what you were
stairs.
doing.
I'm just looking at the stairs because, like, she's been-
Perception check.
Yeah. Okay.
Get down them stairs.
9.
9. You don't see anything that would indicate a trap.
I'm kind of nudging
Walking.
you.
Okay, so Tolstang starts making his way down. And as you get about 30 feet down on this big spiral staircase, you come across a body. A red-robed wizard who was, you think, running up the stairs. His body's kind of sprayed out. There is the signs of a charred remains of a glyph on the stairs themselves that has exploded. And it looks like he was
Right.
caught in the blast.
Oh,
Right.
trying to get up and out.
Yeah.
So was he contained within?
Does
And
he have
tried
a
to
black
escape?
beard?
He does not.
Actually, can we have a look at the wizards in that room? Do any of them have a
Manus
black
goes
beard?
back upstairs and starts turning over all bodies. Some of them are missing
Beard,
heads. You have to go
beard.
and find them. Some of them have black goatees. Some of them have short brown beards that could be black.
So,
It's very difficult to tell.
because the Red Wizards, they were meant to be much more well kept and not
Yeah.
with long
Yeah.
beards. And
I
everything.
guess
So-
for anyone who looks out of place.
Hairless.
Yeah, so
That's
you've noticed that the
probably-
Thayans, they're all bald. The younger ones tend to have very short beards.
Yeah.
So the ones who, their robes aren't as nice,
Yeah.
you can see that they're just red linen. They look quite young. They have these short beards or goatees. The older ones, no facial hair.
So for a
So
Red
if
Wizard
it's
to
someone
have
to
a
have
black
a
beard,
noticeable black beard, it's probably a longer beard.
A great big bushy beard.
Probably to be,
Beard.
yeah,
Either a sign of status or an infiltrator.
yes, potentially.
A foreigner.
Interesting that this person tried to escape up the stairs from the basement and hit a glyph, which suggests that the glyph wasn't there when he got down there.
Maybe he was already down there, and
And then someone
there's been
placed a
attacks
glyph.
from both sides.
Mr. No.
How long does it take to put a glyph down?
Well, my knowledge of such spells is somewhat limited. 10 minutes, perhaps?
Yeah, that's a prepared thing. That person must have been down there.
We encountered
Perhaps
the one
they
that
were,
Malice
yeah.
encountered when first entering is of a similar natured spell.
Yeah, hurt.
So
Didn't
how
like
are
it.
they in there without triggering the trap?
Well, it could be that he was just running away from something and forgot about a glyph.
In a panic.
Yeah, he
in a panic.
probably. If he's running up
A
here.
reasonable deduction.
Let's
Certainly.
find out what he was running from.
Can we keep an eye out for glyphs and
You do.
stuff going forward? Because we know we've encountered them.
You
again.
don't encounter anymore. So you get to the bottom of the stairs, and the stairwell leads you. There is a short corridor. You don't detect any traps. I know you're going to check. But as that corridor then leads you out into a large open circular room with 4 doors leading off of it. Inside the main circular chamber, it's a large domed ceiling. Columned pillars rise up. You can see that there is a very majesty. There's a large kind of symbol, this kind of red flame, kind of built into the wall in like crystalline mosaic. Braziers of like a crimson light kind of flicker and cast the whole place in a weird lit shadow. And again, you can see a bit more slaughter. You can see a few red-robed wizards dead. There are things like strange devices that you don't recognize, kind of almost like large shafts of metal tipped with crystals, connected to tables or to small sort of like base stands. You can see burnt embers and papers and things like that on tables. And then these 4 doors. One of the doors has an ever so slight shimmer to it.
Would I recognise the apparatus from the books that we read up in the office? Like specifically this...
Malice was reading the books. You flick through them.
I was going over her shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the 2 of you, I would say, the 2 of you do recognise that this stuff was mentioned. There are lots of things like, it's mainly things like arcane focusing crystals, kind of designed to help focus certain magical energies, direct them almost like lightning rods, like conducting certain magical energies away from certain things.
So fusing souls to...
Could possibly be, yes. The doors also, the 4 doors have writing above them. It is in a strange script, not common though.
Is it in
One shimmer.
celestial or infernal?
It is not in either celestial or infernal.
Is it gnome, undercommon, elf/giant, or thieves' cant?
It
Or
is none of those.
dwarfish?
It is not dwarvish.
I'm out.
Is it
Elvish.
necromancy?
It is not elvish.
Draconic.
It is draconic. Do you speak
Oh!
draconic?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh
it
my
is
God.
draconic. Above each room, written in draconic, is basically what you think might be the name of the room. And they just say conjuration chamber,
Shimmer.
transmutation chamber, evocation chamber, necromancy chamber. Necromancy is the one with the shimmering door.
Each of these are a different school of magic, and the one with necromancy is a shimmering door, which looks like an illusion, which my blade is about to find out.
Yep. Poke. It is a real door.
What was
Nothing
that?
happens.
Conjuration, necromancy, abjuration, and
No, conjuration, transmutation, evocation, necromancy.
They wooden
Is
doors.
the...
Yes, with metal strips.
Right.
What do the
Reinforced.
bits of paper and stuff, the notes, is there anything on there that
Nothing really
indicates...
salvageable, unfortunately. Most of it's like burnt or destroyed. You catch like a couple of words, but it's meaningless without the rest of the text.
Were they trying to focus the energies, capture the essence of a demon into a gem,
Potentially.
but it got loose?
Is there...
Do we know that the death curse, from what we've heard about it, if it's anything to do with souls?
You don't know.
We don't know that.
Because unfortunately, you guys have knowledge as players because
No,
you know...
no, that's why I'm asking if we know
your
that or
characters,
not.
unfortunately, all you know is it affects people that died
that's
or
fine.
people that were brought back, and it is slowly decaying you. That's the only thing you do. The only thing that maybe you could extrapolate is that dead souls can't be resurrected right now. That might give you something.
Is there anything from that within these notes that, like, linking to resurrection or anything?
No, sadly not.
No.
It's so hard to link it with knowledge.
I know, I'm
knowledge
trying to, like,
You're
find
doing a
out
good
what
job.
Malice
You
knows.
guys are really not metagaming this. I'm very proud.
I feel like we're only looking into this because of the necromancy side of it, which is essentially...
Well, we find
Demons.
that we
But
know
you
that
do know that the death
necromancy-
curse is necromancy.
Oh yeah,
you
that's
do know
what I
that.
mean. It's like,
And we
know
know
there's
that he
demons.
felt necromancy
yeah,
energy.
necrotic energy.
So.
Well,
So,
I think our answer's behind the necromancy door.
Well, if it's the only one shimmering, would we
It's
sort
some
of
sort of
gather if it's
is
sort
it
of the
worth
one?
us checking the others?
well,
Yes.
Is it? Would we know that looking at this, if there's only one door shimmering, would we know that if all of them should be shimmering? Do you know what I mean? Like, or if
Yeah, it's difficult. None of you are wizards. You wouldn't really know.
So
They-
what sort of thing would cause a door to shimmer like this?
Are you asking Lilith?
Yeah.
Abjuration.
She nods. She says, Tanarin is quite correct. Abjuration magic, protective wards. There are spells that can protect doors from being picked, that can prevent them from being opened without key phrases. There are it could be illusionary in some other way that we're not familiar with. I imagine it is some sort of protective spell. The main spells that I can think of is things such as Arcane Lock. It could also be inscribed with the fact that it did not explode when Taryn touched it makes me believe that there is no glyph placed upon it, but there could be another form of protective defensive system.
I don't pretend to know anything about what they're trying to do here, whether it's summon a demon, combine the magics, or anything like that. But if you're sensing a huge wealth of necrotic power, it could just be a serious imbalance from behind this door, which caused them to summon the wrong thing.
If they have access to all these kinds of magic, but yet the strongest feeling that Taryn can pick up is necromancy.
That's what they're experimenting and dealing with. They're trying to find this death curse.
And ultimately, that's the only thing that makes sense for
unleashed
us.
It.
It is interesting that when we were in the custodian's chamber, we found research journals, but you did not find any of his own notes. That seems
custodian.
interesting. Well, that room that we were in, that seemed to be some sort of leader's room.
Maybe that was the black-bearded.
Do the pages that are on here look like they come from a book very similar?
They don't look like they come from a book. They're mainly loose sheafs.
Right.
But considering the setup of the room, the instruments, there are things like burnt quills and things around. It does look like they were making notes down here. It looks like they were researching something. This is a research lab of some sort.
Is there anything that you can do to make that potion from the things that are here?
Possibly, yes. There is. I can see that there is a few substances and things like that that I can try and use. If you wish to have me set towards that, I can do that whilst you explore the other chambers, or perhaps try and get through this necromancy door.
You know you said there was a red flamed motif on the floor?
Yeah, large. It's mainly like mosaic, like a large ring stone that forms a great big flame, which is a symbol of the Red Wizards.
The Red Wizards symbol, yeah, okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Would Worthless know anything about the necromancy spell? Don't know.
You can make an Arcana check. What do you want to know about? Necromancy.
How to open?
You can make an Arcana check, yeah.
4.
Really? It's difficult to tell.
Find sense while I'm here. 30-foot range.
30-foot range. You sense a couple of things. Big necromancy presence behind the necromancy door. The same one that you sensed earlier.
Is it living? Is it
undead?
Undead.
There is an undead presence behind that door.
Okay.
There is also, what else can you detect? Fiends?
Celestials, fiends, undead, consecrated, desecrate within 60 feet, sorry.
Okay. The fiend, you obviously detect Lilith.
I sense the type, location, if it's not behind total cover.
Okay, so it is a type you have never sensed before. It is some strange undead being that you don't know. You've never encountered it before. It seems quite powerful, and it's behind that. Lilith, you sense, she is definitely more powerful than perhaps she may give off. There is a strong demonic presence with her.
Whatever is behind that door is an abomination that I've never understood or come across before, and it seems powerful. And they've locked it in there.
I mean, you've met things like wights, you've met zombies, you've fought skeletons. You think you might recognize a vampire if you sense one, although you've never met one. This is something new.
As the men that ran up the stairs, do we get any sense of people running away from a certain door?
So down here, the bodies that you can see in this main central chamber are either stood near tables or they were making their way towards the stairs. You can see a few of them are rushed out.
As if something was coming from one of the doors.
Possibly.
Okay.
Have we ever been told that they've been using souls for anything?
No.
Don't believe so.
Could, in the middle, around the flame motif, is there anything broken, anything charred, anything...
Oh, there's tons of stuff like that, yeah. There's char marks, around the bodies. The bodies look like they've been engulfed in a huge blast of fire.
But is it,
Which way?
centering from a
Central,
certain point?
out.
Are
Right.
there gems that have, are they
Charged.
or used or...
Smashed.
You can't tell if they've been used. There's no glow.
there
You
anything
can't
with
see
any-
anything which is glowing.
arcane magic on them?
None that you can tell down here.
Does it look like any of the bodies, like any of them tried to put that glyph on the door, necromancy door, like lock it essentially?
No. It looks like they were either running out or they were killed instantly.
How do we deal with this? I feel like that's the answer in there, but it's also something that can kill us.
Definitely the answer, but I don't know how we're going to escape alive.
Would Hunter's Bane help in any way? To track undead and then call intel?
Not really. Because you can't see it. You don't know what it is. Sadly.
Can I? Okay. Seeing Taran touch the door with his spear, his sword, and nothing happened, can I knock on the door with the butt of my spear?
Nothing happens.
Can't hear anything.
You hear a reverberation, but nothing from beyond the room. You hear it hit the door. You don't hear anything beyond that. The door feels incredibly sturdy when you hit it. It barely moves. In fact, it doesn't move. You just.
I have a dispel magic scroll that we were given.
Well, we need to
You might
figure
be
out-
better to use it than me. I don't know magic, but
Just read it, I think.
if we wanted to open this door, I think that might help.
How about I just say, and I say open in Draconic?
No.
Or blah.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
But we don't know which. There's potentially two things that attacked this place. One from in here, and one upstairs that came in.
Yeah. Well, we've heard that there might be a demon in the barracks, and we don't know what. And then Taran can sense something else behind here, so that's already two, one from each side.
Perhaps, picture this. The Red Wizards were experimenting with the undead, with necromancy. They created something like an abomination, and they locked it in that room. And then they decided, this is too much. Let's not do this anymore. But there's one Red Wizard who really wants to do more. And so he wants to take over and whatever, and take his research with him. So he unleashes a demon here to slaughter everybody, take the research, and run.
Why would he leave the demon behind?
To make sure no one else gets out alive.
Little pet like that.
Do you
Here's
think
my
it
thinking.
maybe could be Sastam, the necromancer?
Potentially.
The lich.
He's the
Lilith
ruler.
comes back over, and she has a small vial that she scrounged up from one of the tables. It has a ever so slightly faint blue liquid, but it has like a lot of like pieces, almost like little iron filings inside of it. She holds this up. It was a quick work. It will heal, not perhaps as effectively as if I had had time to create a full potion, but
What does that do to undead?
it will do nothing.
Can I look at it and check to see if it really is a
Arcana check.
19?
19. I mean, yeah, from all your understandings, yeah, you can look at it. You can't detect magic or like things like that. As far as you're aware, it seems like it is a potion. It seems
A healing potion.
it's difficult to say. Probably.
If Lilith
I mean,
wanted
we
to
have-
kill us with this, she would have killed us. And
Quite honestly, if I wanted to kill,
I'm not making it obvious that I'm checking it to see if it's...
she just says to Taryn, quite honestly, if I wanted to kill you myself, I would likely charm Taryn or yourself, turn you against the others whilst I drain the life from them. I have no need. I've signed an agreement with you. I want what I have requested from Taryn. I have made an agreement to assist you. My loyalty is not to Valix or to anybody else. My loyalty is to who I make my contracts with.
And so I must not die.
I would prefer it if you don't. That would be I would be losing out on my
You
investment.
very much would.
I'm sure I will.
Can I slowly, with my spear butt, open one of the other doors, like...
Which one?
Transmutation?
Transmutation. So, you
Behind
slowly
door number
open
2.
the transmutation deck. Inside, you can see almost like surgical tables upon which there are monster carcasses. There are things like small wyverns, manticores. There is actually a young foal unicorn, which has been placed there, a pegasus, but that is mainly discarded parts. And you can see that there is stacks of like bookshelves, there is surgical tools, there are like large orbs, like in pedestals, strange magical equipment. You also, can you give me a perception check?
11.
11.
11.
Okay. Yeah, you just look in the room and you see that.
You don't see the thing. I'm going to look in a different room.
Which room would you like to look in?
One to the left of that.
Hang on.
I'm looking at them in the Draconic. What have we got left? Conjuration?
So
Conjuration
conjuration,
and
evocation.
I'm going to go in Conjuration.
Okay. Conjuration, you open the door. Inside, what you can see are several 3 stone like platforms, ever so like maybe like 5 inches off the ground, like thick, engraved with runes and symbols. Some of them have got big black char marks, demonic-looking symbols. Looking around, you can see pedestals with old tomes with bookmarks with incantations written on them. You don't really read. It's Draconic. It seems to be some sort of spell. You're not quite sure what. There is also, around the room, you can see almost like wards, like kind of protective gemstones inscribed with glyphs directed inwards.
This is where they...
Malice and Thulshank, can you both make perception checks for me, please?
Yeah.
Lilith comes up behind you.
That's a little cocked.
Ah,
I'm
rubbish.
curious. She looks in.
Can I read the demonic?
10.
Possibly.
12.
12. Tolshank, running out of the room that that Worthless looked in, the one with all the monster carcasses, you see a tiny creature scurrying out. He appears to be made from like clay and stone.
Oh, no.
He has like a little bat-like shaped head and face, little wings but with little clawed hands, and he kind of looks around and he kind of scurries out, and he's clinging to the wall, like looking around nervously, and he's making his way around towards the door.
Did he come out of the...
The transmutation. He came out of the transmutation. He's going towards the stairs leading
He
out.
wants to run away.
I
can't see it.
am
I
going
can't see
to
it. Oh, I can't do it.
run and, with the butt of my staff, cane thing, try and sort of pin it to the ground.
He, as you run up to him, he's like, and then you hear like a weird noise, like a, and you hear scrabbling.
What's that?
Give me an attack roll.
It is good.
21.
Yeah, you just basically, you get your cane and you kind of put it in front of him and like pin him. And he's kind of a bit squishy, almost like unmolded clay, but there's kind of a substance to him. And he's like,
Aww.
Hell is this? And I'm going to sort of, as it's pinned, I'm going to try and
you can make an Arcana check.
Well,
Anybody that sees it can make an
grab it as
Arcana
well.
check.
No.
15.
It like tries to turn away from you, like,
17!
you like get it's like 17.
I'm
You
just
didn't
walking.
see. 17. Actually, Worthless, you do know what this is. This is a homunculus. It is created often by wizards to be like a little servant, like a little familiar almost, but it's actually like a little construct. They generally can't speak, but they're pretty clever, and they can be given like little tasks. And he looks like his eyes are really big and white. He's got these big black onyx gemstones, and he's like, and he like looks at you, and he's like,
Okay, I'm gonna go over and be like...
oh, actually, hang on. You guys are wearing red wizard robes, right?
Yeah.
You're not though.
No.
Okay, he climbs up on you and just clings to you, like he like clings
God.
onto your chest.
How big is it?
It's like a little like a little bat, like almost like a puppy.
Oh.
It's like a little puppy.
Oh, God.
But with bat wings?
And he's got them like clinging around Thalshank.
Oh, no.
I'll take the mask off and the hood down.
He's like clinging onto Thalshank.
What the
Tolshank.
hell? This thing.
Listen, ow!
I think he's scared of anyone wearing red robes.
I think so as well. It's very loud in my ears.
It's okay. We're not here to hurt anyone.
Does
well,
anyone
we
know
kind
what
of
this
are,
is?
but
I'm like not moving.
It's a homunculus, my dear.
That was a homunculus.
It's a tiny little creature.
Clearly.
Creation.
Doesn't like you.
Don't get close. It's really loud.
It scrabbles onto Thalshank's
Take
back.
my hood off.
Was it summoned by a red wizard?
It still doesn't actually seem to like you for some reason.
I'm gonna like grab it off my back and just hold it in front of me, and just like so it's like looking in my face and say, "We don't mean
It like wraps its arms around you and just like looks at you. It's like,
Why don't you like me, little one?
okay, doesn't like that. It doesn't like Worthless when it comes near it. It just like just
Even
shakes
if I
its
take
head.
the robe off?
Yeah, doesn't seem to like you. It doesn't like Lilith, and it doesn't like Taran. As soon as you guys come near it, it starts making noise again. But you two, it seems fine with.
Find out what it
Interesting.
is.
Where is your... Who made you, and where are they now?
He like looks around and he points at the robes on the floor.
That's
And
the
then he goes,
person... Dead. Yes. Do you know what's going on here? Is it behind that shimmery door?
He just looks confused.
It looks
he
like
can't-
it's going to poop itself or something.
Oh no! Right.
Just hold him out. It doesn't seem to be able to answer the question properly. It can understand you. You've definitely picked up.
Does it look worried by when I point to that door?
It does look a bit worried.
Do you know what happened here?
Did a red wizard do this?
Did a red wizard do this?
A red wizard you
Blackbeard.
knew?
A red wizard you knew?
Did it
Blackbeard?
summon it?
It's like clawing out
Did-
from Tolshank. It wants to like. It's
Tolshank,
like
Tolshank, ask it if that wizard killed other red wizards.
I'm not your slave, Taran. Did that red wizard kill the other wizards?
On his own?
Did he have anyone with him?
Demons? He summoned demons to overthrow. And did he take something?
Was a demon summoned in this room?
he like points to the room that you were in.
Conjuration.
But he kind of points and is like.
What's that mean? I don't know what that means. He's confused.
Would you like to go into that room?
Why do?
Is the red wizard your master?
He's dead.
The one that
His
died?
master is dead. He pointed to them.
Is
He looks
how this-
confused.
Is that how this works?
Is your master dead? Yes, okay.
He made a dying sound.
Why do you fear the red wizards? Oh, okay.
Why do you not like me, little one?
Why do you not like my friend?
You can't tell. You can't talk. Like. It just
Evil?
points.
Evil?
Do you fear the dead?
But then it points at you and is like.
I'm not evil. What about this Lilith?
It's just like, what a pathetic little device.
Do you know of this thing?
Oh, it's some sort of construct created by wizards.
Can you make it talk?
Not really.
Yeah, would Worthless know, knowing that she knows what a homunculus is? Would she know how to?
You can't make it talk. If you have it has thoughts. If you had an ability to read its thoughts somehow,
I tell the group that.
it could probably communicate. It might be able to write it down.
I mean,
Interesting.
I'm getting on real well.
It's got
with
like he's got like little hands with bat wings. Like he's got the little bat wings,
Are
like a little
there,
gargoyle. He's like
there's
a little
paper
gargoyle.
around.
Can I
Or
pick
can we
up
get a quill
quill
and some paper?
I
There's
don't
no
want-
working quills here. They're all burnt.
I don't want to let it go though, just in case it does.
You have a quill. You got one because you wrote a letter, didn't you? Because you wrote a
I
letter
wrote-
back to.
No, that was from when I went to like some post office thing. So I
No,
guess
but you got a quill. I remember
I don't
you
know, I
making
did
a
buy
fuss
one,
over the
didn't I?
fact that you didn't have a quill. Haha, the only time it just paid
I
off.
have calligraphy tools as well.
There
There you go.
That
Why
works.
do you have calligraphy?
It was something to do with.
That's so random.
Yeah, I'm proficient in calligraphy.
There you go.
Okay, yeah. So
You can write things real
you
nice.
put it over and like he doesn't like Worthless.
Right,
He's
I-
like
I'll hold it
clings to
off one way,
Tholshank.
Tolshank, and I'll grab the calligraphy tools.
Gentle, my darling. They're very valuable.
I mean, you're gonna let this thing, whatever. And I'll hand him the quill, and I'll grab
comes in
the
his little
quill,
black.
and I'm not gonna let go of it ever. I'm gonna hold up the paper and have
Like
it.
holding it by like the scruff of like a weird clay stony neck.
Yeah, and I'm holding the paper on my hand.
It's like a weird pug bat with bat wings.
I'll hold it up while it writes, and you
Okay.
can hold the paper.
What is your problem with this woman and this man here?
He
And I
writes.
suppose Lilith as
he
well.
writes. undead,
Right.
demon,
Yes.
no like.
Okay.
Not undead.
We've come back from the death.
Both of you.
But we all have. That wouldn't change it.
Both of you have a strong connection to
He's
the
just
gods
gripping
and
this
death.
big brush.
This is true.
Why you will talk to us? Why will you talk to us and not them?
Just writes, trust.
Okay. Well, that's the first time that's ever happened in my entire existence as a half-drowned. Cool. Okay.
Do you know what could possibly be behind that door over there? And I'm pointing at the necromancy.
He writes it with an X, PERMNT. Experiment.
Experiment.
Do you know what it was
And then
that they were working
He writes unicorn.
Oh.
They used the unicorn?
Soul,
Soul.
energy, and then he's like,
Did your master make
mix.
Did your master make it, or did the wizards he killed make this thing?
Master plus others.
Was what happened here an accident? Or
Murder.
This thing's master
Then he writes
betrayed them.
callus. KALUS.
That
We
is
know
a
that
name.
one.
I know that word.
We know that
Callous.
one.
We know that one. Where's my notes? Where's my
Callous.
notes? Ah!
Callus. I wrote this one down. I definitely wrote this one down.
Potentially the person that hired the assassin.
Is Callus the
Velix's
one who
dad.
murdered?
Yeah.
Yes.
The one who's angry with Malik, third in line to become Zolkir.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Velix Thrall.
Notes, boy!
Yeah. He's the Zolkir of Conjuration, and he's unhappy with Dolran, who is the guy that we were protecting.
Hence why he's
So-
able to conjure a demon to his aid.
Were they mixing a unicorn and a demon soul?
No.
Undead.
Unicorn and undead?
Yes.
Unicorn Soul.
Yes.
Capturing a soul.
Soul.
Do you know about the death curse?
The paper is running out very
I'm
quickly.
flipping over the paper. Do you know about the death curse?
Yes.
Does your master,
Discovery, he writes.
through this creation, this experiment,
Yes.
Was this what the Red Wizards were originally working towards before they were betrayed?
No.
but they just,
Surprise.
it was a happenstance, like penicillin.
Was what is behind that door... Oh wait, does he know what was behind there? Did
He
say
says
that?
it was unicorn
Right.
and undead soul mixture.
Was what's behind that door what was created in this room?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Can
What
I,
kind of
while
things
this is
upstairs?
happening, can I have a quick look into the evocation room? Like just,
Yeah,
again, very carefully.
Yeah, so the evocation room, you see what appears to be various targets, like kind of like straw dummies with targets and things like that, magical targets, and almost like a shooting range. But against the far room is a red wizard body with red robes. You can see that his back has been torn apart by claws, but he's reaching towards a wall, just a blank wall.
Interesting.
So one
Possibly
escaped
to-
through here
That's maybe
from the
correct.
demon that was
Um,
unleashed and tried to escape through
He
it.
writes soot and then points at himself.
Your suit, is that your name?
Yes.
So
Do you want to stay with us?
Drow gnome.
Okay.
Do you know... Is there anything we can do to make you talk?
Magic.
Can I go into the
intelligent.
conjure evocation
I quite
room
like
Yes.
this thing.
and cautiously prod where the outline...
Sounds like an investigation check to me.
So the black-bearded red
Natural
wizard
20.
There's a
Yes.
secret. You find.
Secret
You
door.
press, and there is a stone that actually kind of hinges out. It's like a fake stone decorated into the thing, and it looked like it might have been a safe, like a secret compartment. Inside, you find a gold wand tipped with a ruby,
I'll have that.
Ding dong.
2 scrolls,
I'll have that.
and it looked like there was something else in here, or it looks like there was space for something else in here.
It's now been taken.
Like what?
I'm going to
What
walk
are
in...
the-
Investigation, natural...
There is no way you can know what was either taken
What does
or.
it smell like?
Smells like dust.
Is there any like dusty marks around it?
No, it's kind of like there's like vague shapes, but there's nothing.
Do I know what the wand or the scrolls are?
You can spend some time to figure that out. The scrolls, I will tell you. One is one which is a scroll of stone shape, and then the other one is detect thoughts.
It's almost like it was meant to be.
I mean, we
To
don't
detect
really
the
need
small
to.
things.
Funnily enough, it was actually a random roll,
Oh well.
but I thought actually
convenient.
that's convenient, so I'll leave that in.
Could I walk in with Soot and point at the thing that Worthless just uncovered and say, what was kept in here aside from these wands
He
and
like
scrolls?
scrabbles on the floor. Are you keeping him held?
Well, I've still got the. He's still got the quill. I've still got the
Okay,
paper.
so you've still got paper. Okay, you're gonna run out of paper soon. He writes documents.
Research notes.
Right.
Okay.
So what room was this? This was
That was the
Evocation.
evocation. Where's the abjuration room?
There is no
There
abjuration.
isn't one.
Wasn't there a book about on abjuration?
Yeah. Oh, was it not?
No, there was abjuration was on the
before.
enchantment.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Maybe I read
That's
that
what
down
you
as
detected,
that.
yeah.
My bad.
Do we need to unleash this
Bad notes.
unicorn undead thing, or do
It
we
would
know?
be fun to take a look.
No, I think.
If it's related to the death
It doesn't
curse,
seem
then it.
necessary.
But we know where it is, and if anyone needs to verify,
Ultimately, we need those notes. That's the only thing
It
that
seems
can
that this
prove the
Callus, this
information.
Red Wizard Callus, is the one who either orchestrated this or has more information.
yes. So we need to find him.
He's in Byzantia.
Before
He
we
resides in
go,
the central citadel. That will not be an easy place to reach.
My confusion is, I thought the wizard with the black beard did this. That's his master, Soot's master.
No.
No.
Soot's master's
He-
dead.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't say it was his master who did it.
Does Callus have a black beard suit?
Oh. Can Callus?
He like gestures at his chin, like
Mighty.
Big beard.
Big beard.
Great big bushy beard.
So it should be easy to spot.
It's
And he
not-
wears red robes.
How high? We know how high ranking he is.
Can I,
Very high ranking.
Can I peek into...
What does he do?
Are
I'm
you
holding him
okay?
He's doing like...
he's just kind of like he's just because he's being held aloft. He's kind of just floppy.
Yeah.
It's like
You need to keep the thing under control. Maybe leash it, or
No, he's fine. See, this is why he doesn't like you. Always just wanting to make people slaves.
had enough.
I
and
am your
stuff.
friend. I will not hurt you. I'm gonna get the rope. I'm gonna tie it.
No, don't tie it. He doesn't want a rope. Look, see, he's making him sad.
honestly, we've
See?
got all the information we
See,
can
you
of it. We
guys.
may as well just kill it.
No.
I trust you. This is to keep you safe, not us. It's in case someone grabs you. It's so I can keep hold of you. And I want to put the,
He's so
he
sad.
lets you this time.
I want to put the rope on him and sort of like
A little harness.
this is for you, not for me. And I'll put him down, and I'm holding him. Right. Flighty.
Yeah. He like scooters around.
Can I...
He like kind of squats by your leg. He's a bit like Stitch in like that's the kind of height he is, and like he's got a bit of a Stitch
He's
face.
quite a chunky little thing.
Yeah, he's a chunky little guy. Yeah,
chunky
and he just
little
kind of
monkey.
like he sits
I
by
love him so much.
because Tolshank is like smaller as well. He kind of comes up to like your waist kind
It's
of thing.
like your version of a cocker spaniel.
He's
lab.
very cute. I like him.
I mean, Tolshank's not doing that.
Yeah.
He's
Your hand where you've been holding him, it's kind of a bit sooty, like it's almost like charcoal residue.
Nice.
He like shakes a little bit, and some little soot falls off him.
I'll kill it.
No!
I hope that this is not the way that you deal with all small innocent creatures.
Innocent.
Oh, it's
He's been very helpful.
It's a created construct. It has no concept of right or wrong.
Or pain or death.
That's true. It doesn't. That's very true.
Soot, how do you feel about that one over there? And I'll look at, nod towards
Lilith.
Oh, it goes behind your leg.
Right.
Doesn't seem to like it.
We
I
need
can't say it has much taste, of course, but
The
I'm used to
creature
it.
trusts a half drow and a deep gnome. What's the world coming to?
Wait, half dry?
We have been through this. Do not make me do it again.
Shall I slap him, my dear?
Yes, please.
Callus.
Does
We need
Soot
to find
attack?
Callus.
One thing first, dears. Can I go back to the conjuration room?
yes.
You said there were some things in demonic.
There are demonic runes.
Can I read
They're not necessarily like language. You get the sense that they are used maybe like some sort of way to like protection or like protecting against or from.
Is there any way to tell what kind of demon was summoned or demons were summoned?
You need to make a pretty high Arcana check.
It's basically a place where they
Give
can
it
summon
a
anything.
go. Natural one.
No way. Lilith does remark, like, those are demonic summoning circles.
Do you know what it was?
I don't know what kind of demon was summoned, or it could have been a devil. We must not make assumptions. Technically, they could have summoned a celestial or a fae either. It is likely that the wizards created these are permanent tracking circles. What they will normally do is summon a demon, usually a powerful one. It will not be able to leave the magic circle, and then they will bargain with it until they reach an agreement. Once an agreement has been confirmed, the demon is normally not allowed to harm its summoner.
What does stone shape do?
Stone shape allows you to
Is it not?
shape stone.
It allows you to shape stone, but only a certain amount of it
Yeah.
for a certain time.
So I could create a doorway or
You
a
could.
barrier.
It's
Yes.
got to be it's got to be a certain size cube.
Yeah. It's like a 10-foot cube or something like that. You can shape.
Hello, I got it.
I really want to open that door.
Could I?
I don't know if you could do a full door.
While this is going on, could I just be walking around just to see if he's edging towards anything?
No. Generally, he scoots around you, and then he'll just come and cling to your leg.
Right.
Or he goes over and like wants to sit with Malice.
The door with the corpse that is holding his arm up to the wall, could I walk him into that and just ask him, do you know what was trying to be done in this room?
He gets his little wing arms and he goes blah 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 towards the targets.
Target
Shooting
practice?
range, my darling.
Well, it's just, what was this?
Was this a fun room?
He,
Yeah,
nods.
he likes it.
This was the training ground.
Yeah.
How
Yes.
does one open that door? And I point to necromancy.
Hand him a...
There's like no room.
He writes on the floor, because there's no room on the paper, magic.
And
And your
I think we should
calligraphy
open
brush
it.
is fucked.
I think
I am sort of angry.
Magic. And then he like hands it back to Tolshank.
I think
Hand it back to you. It's the end of it is just...
You will be replacing that.
you can replace it with the stuff that you got from that cabinet.
While they're doing this, Lilith goes over to
Lilith's got
Taryn.
all that.
I'm just in the corner, folding my arms.
That's why she comes over and she's just like, this is going to be quite difficult. Callus is from what Valix told me, he is in the central citadel. He is the most powerful red wizard in Byzantia. This will be quite dangerous, Taryn.
Just as dangerous. A ticking time bomb inside me, where I choke up my lungs every morning.
What is happening?
I'm dying.
Is this death curse you all keep speaking about?
Yes. That's the whole reason we're here. To find the source, potentially find the cure.
She looks around. Is Ulrich with you?
Yeah, he's in the room, I guess.
In the room. She leans in and she's just like, there's a lot I want to talk to you about.
I'm sure there is.
But this concerns me if you have this time bomb. It interferes with something I wish to propose to you. What if I could help get rid of this curse for you?
I mean, that's the whole reason I'm here.
It would require some assistance. How far are you willing to go to remove yourself of this curse?
Everything but death?
Then I think I can help you. She leans in and is like, I want a child because the bonding between us would create a very powerful being. I want that being to be mighty and glorious. I can teach it diplomacy, I can teach it espionage, I can teach it magic. But I can't teach it warfare. And when they rise to become a great leader, having a father figure who can be a general and a commander would be very useful. You serve Tempest, but could your interests grow greater than that? Could you see yourself as a general of an army, leading demons and men against kingdoms for your son or daughter to rule.
I have never thought of family.
This would not be traditional. You would be a grand general to an incredibly powerful ruler. You can teach them your way of war. I've seen you in battle. You are impressive.
You speak a lot,
I do.
succubus.
We can speak more later if you prefer.
All I will say is, I've been betrayed by people I thought as friends, allies.
You spoke of these Tempest Knights that let you down.
There's less chance of being betrayed by someone of my own blood.
Indeed.
And if I can craft that person into someone that is the bravest ally, maybe even supersede me, that would be glorious in Tempest's eyes.
She like nods and she can see she's smiling. She's like, I know that you will struggle to trust me because of my nature, but I have been betrayed myself by many people in the hells, and the reason I want a child to become greater than any of them is to see them broken and crushed before me. If we can help each other in what we want, I believe that there is a union here that we can work towards. And in my efforts, I will ensure that you are alive and free of this curse for as long as possible. We will need some additional assistance, however.
Consider my interest piqued.
Very well. Consider this something for me. We will need at least 2 souls to protect you. They do not need to be willing. And then she kind of slinks away.
Can I just ask, Mark?
Yes.
Have you been reading my online dating profile? Because
I have
what she
not.
just said,
I didn't.
pretty much what I've looked
Crushing
for.
my enemies and
Yeah.
I wish to raise an offspring
Yeah.
to destroy my enemies and raise their hell.
Are you that
Two
mate?
souls, willing or no.
Could be.
Unsuccessful.
Anyway, that was a little side conversation.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm just staring at the necromancy door.
Okay.
I don't think we should open that door.
You're not curious as to what's inside?
I'm not curious to die.
A little playmate?
I'm already dying.
We could leave Werther's here to sate her
If
curiosity.
you wish to stay, if you wish to open the door, then be my guest. But
You
I
have a
will
scroll
not
of
be
dispel
here.
magic, do you not?
Yes, and I will not be using it.
Go on.
I'm not opening that door. We know who we need to contact. Callus will have the notes to prove
just wish
this.
to see what's behind it.
Again,
meet
I
your
am
death.
dying already.
A
I
unicorn
don't need to
soul
die
and
quicker.
undead. Sounds like an unholy union. I like unholy unions.
What do you hope to gain from seeing an abomination made of unicorn souls?
What is possible?
Death.
What kind of creature can be created?
Something that's been trapped by the most powerful wizards in Thay. That if they're scared of it, I should be shitting myself over
Well, they're
it
not the
too.
most powerful. They're rather dead.
Are we ready to leave? We know the person we seek is in Byzantium.
Lilith looks at you and just kind of smiles a little bit.
You, my dear.
I do not believe it prudent to engage in a combat when many of you are already injured.
I'm just saying we can look and run away.
I don't
didn't
think
it
we
is-
can
fight.
run fast
I
enough.
said look. I
It
didn't
is-
say fight.
Possible, but is it worth the risk? We could always return at a later date.
We know it's here now.
Fine.
What is in that room? And I'm addressing Sir again. Does this thing want to kill everything, or does it hate the red wizards just like you?
It looks confused.
Yes or no questions.
What's in there? Does it hate the red wizards? What's in there? Does it hate everyone? Right, we're not going in there.
Yeah. Are we
What
ready to
is
leave
in
then?
there?
We,
What
the-
is the body?
It gets it scrabble up to Solshank, gets all the pieces of paper that he's been writing on, and then points at Unicorn.
And I guess experiment
And
as
then
well.
and he points at Unicorn and Undead.
And then knowing what I saw from
Do we know,
The
would
other
we know
room.
anything about unicorns, like the properties that they possess that they might want to sort of...
You can make a
Do you know what I mean?
nature or arcana.
Do you know what, do you know
what
what
bits
I mean?
of unicorn are
That's
missing in the
funny.
other room.
There's not really any bits missing.
Soul.
Just its soul.
Yeah.
4 after 4 after 4 today.
444. Number of the beast. The sloth.
The sloth.
11.
11. You know stories about unicorns. They can heal things that they touch. They're generally seen as protectors of woodlands. They're very nice. They radiate with positive energy. That's pretty much it.
Cool.
But when corrupted and undead.
Who knows?
Bit drippy.
They're probably trying to combine aspects of different things to make it as powerful as possible. And if it hates everyone, then that is our cue to leave.
Are there any notes in like the carcass room? Like, any notes in anything that has a fucking unicorn on it?
Fortunately, anything that you find is burnt or destroyed.
How convenient. Let's go.
This doesn't help our case.
Callus
Yeah,
has notes.
I want to walk upstairs and I want to ask Soot about the room upstairs. So the room where...
And he looks really sad as soon as he gets in that room. And you see him
Look
go
at
up
his
to one of
head.
the bodies and he like nudges it with his head.
Aww.
uh,
When did this happen, little one?
He's got three claws on each hand.
I'm also
He
going
goes-
to hold my
he
hands
goes-
out as well.
He goes,
2 weeks ago. 1 week ago. 3 days ago. Not long
Still
ago.
relatively recently, though,
What
and this is
is-
why it's all gone quiet, clearly.
What is down there? Did that kill what's in here?
It was the Red Wizard's demon.
And the Red Wizard,
Callus is
Callus. But also Callus.
Did Callus leave the undead here to kill everybody and escape?
Then we need to go back.
puts
and
his hands
find
over
him.
like he's hiding. He pretends like he's hiding.
Yes, you can cover up your eyes all you want, but the world is still there.
What? I guess
deep.
since none of us have seen what this thing is before, I guess a few of us have. Having this thing out in the open is going to be weird, right?
It's a construct. Like it's weird, but it's not. It's like a wizard having a familiar. It's like a wizard walking around with like a pseudo dragon. That's kind of weird, but you could probably be like, I'm a wizard.
But
and they'd
really,
be
you
fine.
should be wearing your red robes.
It could
Yeah.
reinforce your Red Wizard status by having something that you pretended to conjure.
Have you ever seen a short red wizard?
He like looks at you.
A gnome wizard?
No.
I'm going to...
He points at Taryn.
Human.
Right. I want to pick him up. I want to put him inside Duke Zalaire's magnificent cloak. As much
Like
as
in a big
possible.
pocket.
Almost, yeah, and it's just...
The kangaroo pouch.
He seems happy once he's in.
And I'm going to just say
His
to
little
him,
claws sticking out, and he's like poking his little face out.
with me, you are safe. You will reveal yourself only when I call upon you.
He goes quiet.
Okay, good. Cool.
Can
Do
I...
you take orders only from the person you're with? No, you just good at taking
He
orders.
points at you and he points at
So
Tulsi.
you okay? So if you could be quiet, that would be best for us.
It wants to survive. And it knows
It's in
that
the pocket. It really likes the pocket. For God's sake, it likes the pocket a little bit too much.
It's got lint in there.
Well, let's just set some ground rules for now. If a red wizard gives you a command, you ignore it. You only accept commands from me foremost, and Malice as well. Why not?
Like some
makes a
kind
little
of
happy face.
sweat.
in return you do not die.
We won't let him kill you. He won't.
Hate him as much as you want.
Yeah.
He goes inside the pocket.
Are his little hands still up there?
He has to hook them up there because he's got his big wings. So he like hooks his little hands on the pocket edge.
Sakes. Good.
Well,
I love
his trot
Soot.
can't
Soot was the
handle.
favourite thing I put in this whole campaign. I was like, yay! They found him!
Oh my god. Well,
He's
we're
great.
back upstairs.
Yes.
Can I look around for this demon? Like, see if use his Hunter's Bane to see if I can see his tracks or anything? Or where
Yeah,
he's
you
gone.
can definitely find his tracks. I'm not even going to make you roll. Big footprints
Where'd he go?
into this central barracks building, and you can hear stuff being smashed around.
Can I
said he
roll
was.
an int check to recall information? No, it's figuring it out, isn't it? It's not recalling. Can I figure out what it is?
Possibly.
From its footsteps.
What check?
And the information that we've kind of gathered.
Try not to look at its guide.
It has 3 large clawed prints with 2 smaller hooked prints on its thing. You can give me a survival or intelligence check. Just make an intelligence, roll a d20 plus your proficiency plus your intelligence. And you'll have advantage because of Hunter's Bane.
Oh my god.
16.
We got advantage.
So 13.
17.
17. You think, judging by its tracks, the state of its gait, the way it's walking, it could be a glabrezu.
What?
A Galbrezu.
Shut up. What was that? Galb.
Rezu. Glabrezu.
Glabre.
Stop looking at it.
When you say it
What's
could
the
be,
spelling?
and the fact that you have the page open.
That is metagaming. I will not stand for it.
What is it? What do I know
Minus
about
2
it?
to all checks for the rest of time now.
Okay.
The rest of time.
All
What
campaigns.
is it? What?
So you know, do you say that it's a glabrezu out loud?
No.
Okay, so you would know a glabrezu is a large fiend, it's a large demon, very vicious. One hand is a giant pincer claw, the other one is a huge clawed hand. It also has 2 smaller arms that sometimes hold weapons. It can cast some spells. It's magically resistant to some magic. It's very aggressive, very intelligent. It is not a trifle.
No, it's a demon.
They're resistant to cold, fire, lightning, non-magical weapons. It's immune to poison.
It's all round.
It's bad news.
Does it do like fire, like the kind of magic that I've seen in the barrack, not the barracks, the common room?
No, doesn't.
Sure, it doesn't match up with the spells that have been used in
Doesn't, no.
That looks like red wizard spells.
Yeah. So we should just get out of here. We shouldn't go anywhere near
Absolutely.
the barracks.
We've got what we
Only
want.
if you do relay that information, because Lilith will chip in if you do.
I think I've figured out what it is, my dearies.
A demon.
Would you like to know which kind?
On the way out of this place, yes.
Let's keep moving.
As we move,
Okay.
yeah.
So you
I'll
guys
relay.
make your way back. So you're basically making your way back to your wagon that you stashed just outside the keep, right? And it was about a day's travel. So yeah, Lilith is like, yes, if it is a glabrezu, then it is advisable we avoid it in combat, given the state that many of you are in.
I'm going to summon my steed
Yes.
outside
Uh-huh.
and invite Lilith onto it
Okay.
so that we can discuss
You're going right ahead?
further about this stuff.
Yeah, sure.
We don't have to,
No, she's like, why, of course.
as
I
in
would-
like we don't have
I
to
will-
dialogue.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
could
yeah.
skip that if you
Yeah.
want.
Well, yeah, if
the
you've
sake
got
of
questions about, if Taryn has questions that he wants to ask her.
Taryn's basically interested and he wants to remove his death curse and
Okay.
he's growing warm to the idea
of having this
a
offspring that he can
son
shape.
that could be the ultimate Tempus serve,
Sure.
and that would be me that doing it. So that would both.
Yeah. Okay. So we won't go into the detail because I don't want these guys necessarily to know all the details.
Right.
But basically, yes, she conveys to you a way that you can protect yourself from the death curse. It won't remove it. It will protect you for a time until it can be resolved otherwise. She will basically do everything she can to protect you and create and ensure you're safe in return for, basically helping her raise a child, like a Cambion child.
My one question
Yeah.
is, how do I claim these souls and how are they captured?
We'll talk that maybe on a break.
Okay.
Because I don't want those three
Probably
to
going to
know.
be our souls, basically.
In case Taryn wants to try that, I don't want them to know the details.
Okay.
So we'll do that. Ulrich just gets in the wagon and everything else. The only other thing, though, is while you're on this, in between conversations, Worthless, you start hearing Lilith in your head. And one of the things is like, she says to you, Worthless, my dear, I didn't want to say it in front of the others, but I think you were right that we should go and see what that creature was, but at a later date. And then she just says, don't forget, Orcus is willing to help you with your problems, and he can protect you from this curse. He can help you find what you've lost without the concerns of wasting away. If you wish to know more, speak with me in private. And then that's what she says.
Can I think something back to
Yeah,
her?
you can think something back to her.
But can you protect me from Taryn?
I can make sure that there are certain that no harm comes to certain individuals, yes. There is a way, if you accept Orcus's protection and help, you will be protected from Taryn, is what she says. And then she just says, it will help you find your missing hope. Did you tell her what the name was? I can't remember.
No, because I don't know.
She wouldn't say that then. She would
Yeah.
just say she would help you find your missing daughter. Because she would have inferred that that's what that was. And he says, like, it will help you find it. And then that's it. That's what she says. The rest of you find the wagon where it was outside. Did we start at 2? I can't remember. Or did we start just after?
Half.
Okay, so we got a little bit of time. So, you find your way back into the wagon. It's about a day's travel back to Byzantur. During that time, you do meet back up with Taryn. I'm guessing for meals and stuff, you would meet back up with the wagon.
I just said I'd see you at the wagon.
Okay, yeah. So you guys basically all meet up, camp out. Is there anything you want to do?
Heal.
Yeah, you can. This will be a long rest. Does mean -1 hit point from Death Curse, though.
So I actually go down in health rather than healing.
Are you at
Was
full
that
health?
full?
Do you have no things left? Because you'll get half your hit
No,
dice
but
back.
I was at full health, so I just actually decrease
Oh,
in
okay.
health now.
Yeah.
Well,
You also
level
get
up?
half your hit dice back.
Do we level up?
Is that a
Don't
full
forget,
heal?
you don't automatically heal.
Okay.
Do we level up?
What level are you now?
We're 7.
7.
We've only leveled up once.
What did you fight? You fought that stuff.
Sorry.
You found the secret stash. You found soot. You didn't find that. You did find the magic robe. Yeah, I'll say you can level up. Woo! I'll say you can level up.
Right.
Sweet.
So you can do your. You can raise your hit dice and things like that.
oh my lord.
Oh, good. What do
Oh,
I
yeah,
get at
8.
level 8?
10.
So yeah, just remember you don't automatically heal up automatically. You get half your hit dice back, and then you can spend those as if it was a short rest.
Ability
I'm gonna
score
spend
improvement.
all of them.
So you're still really low.
Compared to my current maximum.
Yes, and I believe for most of you this is going to be an ability score improvement, or if you want to take a feat, you can take a feat. If you want to take a feat, let's do that after this episode.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll sort it out later.
Can we choose to take the average?
For
Hit points.
I think the way that we did it for this one is you can't, but if you roll
So you
a 1 or a
can.
2, you can take the hit. You can take the average.
So I still... it doesn't
Did you
matter.
roll a 3?
Yeah.
Woo! I rolled a 10.
That's right.
I'll sort my
I am now on 80.
afterwards.
I have shit all hit points still.
Soot.
Cool.
On the journey, I'm sort of playing around with him.
Okay, so if you want to, Tolshank, spending a long rest with him, you can bond to him as his new master.
What?
So what this will mean is that you basically have a telepathic bond with him.
Right.
Aw.
But also, as an action, you can basically go blind and deaf to see through his eyes and ears.
Whoa, wait. So
It's like having a familiar.
okay. So if I go, so the action itself to see through his eyes makes me blind and deaf.
Yes.
If I cast blind or deaf on myself,
Right.
would that then allow me to see through his eyes? So would I be able to then do it twice?
What?
Well, if I go blind and deaf to see through his eyes
And hear through his ears.
and
as
hear
well.
through his ears,
Yeah.
right? That's fair enough. If I was to be made blind and deaf, would that
No.
automatically? So it is actually okay. Fair enough. It was a dumb question. I realised after.
I see what you mean. I see where you were going. That basically your question was, if I am blind and deaf, can I use his sights and senses
Yeah.
instead? You could, but it would be an action to activate it.
Right.
So,
And
like,
is that-
if you were affected by some sort of blindness,
Yeah.
you could go, okay, I'm going to use an action to see through his vision. You could then move around, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to attack and stuff like that.
Okay. And is that a long rest sort of thing, or is it like a?
It
Just,
takes all the whole 8 hours, basically.
You got this.
oh no, I mean the if I see through his eyes.
No,
is that
no,
something
it's,
like-
you just have
At
it
will.
all the time. You can do it at will.
I
But
have
you
evil
are blind
vision.
and deaf, and you can see through his eyes and ears. You have soot vision.
Could I determine with his wings if he could fly?
Yes, but not well. He has
Right.
a fly speed of 10, and it's very clumsy. He can be like... and he like flies around like a
That's
little
fine.
goblin man.
Can he also? You said he was made of clay.
Yes.
Can he be
You would need some sort of magic to do it. And it can't be bigger than his current form.
So So I can't add clay to him.
You can't add clay to him.
Like go to like some.
Make some huge golem. No. You
Just throw him in a vat of clay
and then
just
be like stone shape.
quick, be big.
No, it won't work
Eventually
that
come
way.
back to Byzanta with this giant.
But if you did have magic that allowed you to like stone shape, you could cast it on him to change his form. So instead of being like a little Batman, you could make him look in a different way.
But that would only be a temporary change.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That's fine.
Can I attune to that wand?
Yes, it is a wand of magic missiles.
Nice.
It has 6 charges. You can spend a charge to cast magic missile at level 1, and then each additional charge you spend after that increases the spell's level by 1.
So 6 charges.
Yeah, so you can basically cast up to a 6th level magic missile.
Cool. So either like, a big high-powered one.
Or you can do lots of little ones.
Several
And it reset, and you gain 1d4 plus 2 charges each dawn.
But if you use them all, then
If you
Then
lose
it
it all, it
goes.
has a chance to be destroyed.
Okay.
Is there a certain name for this telepathic link?
Telepathic bond
Okay.
with soot.
Soot vision.
I fucking love soot. I love homunculus. Like, they've become like one of my favourite little like familiar races. Like, these little clay men. They're so cute.
Right, yeah, I've rested fully.
Right.
It's been 8 hours.
What was it to determine your passive perception again?
It's just 10 plus your perception bonus.
If you are. Yeah, proficient in it, you add
Okay.
that too.
Yeah, well, that would be your proficiency, your bonus.
I'm ready.
Factored in. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Absolutely.
I will
I'm
level up.
going to do all this other
in the
shit
break.
after.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
I was just checking I didn't get any cool like spells.
Sure.
Like-
And by in the break, I mean the week-long break.
The week-long break.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we've still got a little bit of time
A whole week to think about it.
we've still got 30 minutes. So
I just wish we could
I think
get
right,
to.
we did start at half
Yes.
2.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I wish we could have gone up to level 11 because like
then you get to be ghosty.
you get supernatural surge. Upon reaching 11th level, you can spend a bonus action to allow your body to take on a swift, ghostly form. So basically, you turn into
Danny
like
Phantom. You ever watched that show?
a...
Going ghost. That's his catchphrase. His
Really?
superpower was he could turn into a ghost.
Wow.
His last name was
good.
Phantom.
It was pretty good. It was made by the Fairly Odd Parents guys.
All right. Fair enough.
Anyway, I know my cartoons.
Yes.
Such as... No, I'm not going to do that.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Byzanta.
Byzantor. So, you guys make your way back into the city. When you arrive at the gates, Lilith resumes her Thayan nobility form. She basically, her hair disappears. She was bald with Thayan tattoos. The robes that she's been wearing, she maintains. When they approach the door, you approach the gates, there are more Null guards there in the morning along with humans.
I'm going
And,
to put my hood right over my hair.
okay, so you just like kind of completely cover yourself.
Shadow up.
Are you wearing the red wizard?
I'm not wearing the wet. I'm going to take. Can I cover up my robe with my other cloak that I bought?
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Lilith is basically just barks orders. As soon as they come over, it'll be she's like, "What are you doing? Get away, you miserable flea bag!" And the Gnolls are like, "Nah, don't talk to us that way, woman." But as soon as they see, are you wearing the red robes over your armor? Did you
Yeah.
say? As soon as they see you with like this dark red robed figure next to this woman, the humans are like, "Shut up, Gnoll, let them pass," and they just let you straight on in.
You got a massive shoulder thing on.
Pauldroons.
Clearly a
Cauldron, yeah.
red wizard who likes wearing armour. They're not going to question it. That's a way that you get disintegrated in Thay.
Good point.
So you guys make your way into the city. It is miserable and bustling, as always.
Cool.
You see the slums, you make your way through those.
Home.
And you make your way. Where are you going? What do you guys want to do at this point?
I mean,
Heading to the Citadel will draw attention to us.
we know that Calix's daughter went to the Temple of Lovitar. We know that Calix is...
Callus.
Calus.
He's
Isn't it Calus?
in.
Oh, yeah,
the
sorry,
ci-
Calus.
He's in the central citadel.
Velix's dad.
Which
He
will
is
be
the
difficult.
chief red wizard. He resides in the central citadel.
Is he?
Basically, he's like the Tharkiones. He's
thought
like
he
the
was-
red wizard equivalent.
He's
Oh.
in the most
How
heavily
about-
guarded place.
I thought he was third in line to become Zolkir.
He is.
Yeah.
He's still the most powerful red wizard in Byzantur.
Ah,
How about, instead of us going into the lion's den, we draw him out with a threat? We know what he's done. We know he's slaughtered loads of red wizards. And he's summoned demons. Probably people in the Citadel do not know this. Or if they do, they're under his pay. What if we were to just send a note directly to him? It's a threat. We meet him outside, and then that way we don't have to go into the Citadel.
Who would care in a place like this?
He would. Because he wants to be the head honcho. And he doesn't want his record tarnished. Or to be exposed too early.
We could tell the Tharkioness.
We
We
could.
need to get a meeting with her to do that, and even then, the Tharkioness
Well, you
can
do
be
know that a day
blocked.
you were the wife of Malak was going to try and arrange for you to meet with her.
We can
Also-
go check in on that.
We also know that a necromancer worked with Matthias. And we've never gone to see him. Then again, we've never gone to see the Tharkioness, so
What do we wish to do? Do you want to do the approach to see the Tharkioness?
I think
We also do know that the Tharkioness can be bought. They're not very trustworthy.
with what we have, we are able to go straight to the central Red
We won't
Wizardy
be
place.
allowed in. It's
I
heavily
think,
guarded.
but we have information about a series of red wizards being slain by one of the red wizards.
Who's at the top?
Who is at the top? Yeah, but like we've got evidence of an
My-
entire horde of people being
My good
slain.
gnome, are you much of a card player? Do you know
Yep.
that one should not tip one's hand too early? It seems that charging into the central citadel, making accusations and levying all the information, what precious little defence you have all at once, is a rather risky gamble.
Why don't I just send a small, we know what you've done, to him, draw him out, and get the information we need?
What if we take Velix, his daughter?
I would say that sending a note might only get him to send agents. It may not bring out to the man himself. You would need to be quite formidable for someone like that to come and deal with you personally, I imagine.
But if we take
He will have access. We know that he can summon demons.
This is
There
true.
is nothing to stop him from summoning another Glabrezu,
But would he summon a demon to rescue his daughter?
potentially. He may send other agents, or he may come himself.
Does he care?
That seems more of a wiser course of action to me.
Does he
Do
care
we know
if
where
it's daughter?
she...
If you give me some
Stays.
time, I should be able to find out.
We know
She
that
was
she
in
goes to
the... We know
temple
that she
over
was in
top.
the temple, and she was the one who set up that... Or at least assisted her father to set up that assassination.
Yes.
What about the Temple of Shah?
So they
Oh,
must...
no,
their
we
interests
got to
must
that
at
point.
least be aligned if she was to be responsible for that.
Okay,
Family is quite important.
let's kidnap her and then draw him out that way.
I beg to differ.
Finally.
Well, how do you wish to accomplish this? How can I be of assistance?
Let's find her,
I can do that, if you wish.
and
It
then
will take me a few hours, perhaps.
what better leader do we have? We need to get into the city. We need to get to him without agents, without guards, without flak. And then we need to get information of this death curse from him.
I think the
I
best way
will-
to separate him is to take his daughter, and that is...
Where shall I meet you?
Mr. Chuckles.
I don't know what that is.
The tavern by the docks.
The Bloody Banners hideout.
Well,
The last embrace.
Opposite
Is it the last
the
embrace?
boat.
Black
It's
embrace.
very-
The
yeah.
black embrace.
Opposite Valix's boat.
Yes.
Very well.
Where Mr. Chuckles is.
I'm sure.
The little
We'll meet
invisible
you at the
man.
boat.
Oh, yes, the quasits. I forgot that Valix has those little cretins around everywhere. Very well. I will go off. I shall find out where this Velix, you said her name was, daughter of Callus.
The one that recently, a red wizard
Yes?
that potentially tried to assassinate the man.
I can find this out just based on her familial relations. Once I've discovered this, I will come and let you know. It should take me perhaps 2-3 hours.
Okay, thank you.
Very well. And she slips off into the crowd, and as she blends in with the crowd, her form mutes and shifts, and some of her hair comes back, but quite short and cropped. She looks younger, and she begins making her way off in towards the central citadel, and she just disappears into the crowd, basically.
Until then,
Don't forget you got given a potion.
Oh, did I? Oh, yes, of course. What
Until-
shall I write down for that? Just healing potion.
In brackets, please.
Lilith's potion.
Lilith's potion is good. Yeah, so what do you guys want to do?
Is there anywhere I can buy potions from?
Possibly. Yes. Yeah, Byzantia is a huge market city. It's a port city with loads of trade. You could likely easily buy. You've seen shops, outer city, no. Inner city, yes. Probably related to the Guild of Foreign Trade in some way. It'll be a merchant who is likely a member of the guild that will trade in
The
those
Guild
matters.
of Foreign Trade, did they mention anything about the Red Wizards? No.
No, we didn't have any quests apart from getting like basilisk bits
Yeah.
for the wizards.
Oh, yeah.
There was,
and
you
the
guys
Kite
went
12
down
and
different
things.
paths rather than.
In that we took a quest from them and ignored it.
Well,
Yeah, that's fine. You couldn't do everything.
It's just in our side quest list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys couldn't do everything. So.
Had to abandon quest.
unticked.
Yeah.
Right, so is that what you want to do? You guys want to try and find potions and stuff like that?
Yeah, restock.
Okay, so I'm not going to roleplay this out for the sake of time. You can find somewhere. The pricing is considerably higher than PHB and DMG. For a regular healing potion, they charge you 150 gold. For anything more than that, you are looking at almost like 3 times the price. You can make charisma checks to try and barter them down,
I'm going to give you
or intimidation checks, or whatever you want to do.
will
one
intimidate
of the
down.
200 gold bars that we got from the quest.
You will give me that potion at the base rate that I'm used to.
Yeah, okay, he will. He
So one of those-
explains
That's maybe-
that he can't sell it at the base rate because the guild take 2. They basically will take some of his stock, but he will sell it for 75, which is half of what he's asking.
That's a regular healing.
That's for regular healing. If you want greater, I believe the price is he'll charge 300 gold, which is the 4d4 plus 4, and that's as high as the potion he can sell. He only has 3 of those.
Can I have a regular?
75?
Or one, how much?
75 gold.
75, okay.
Yeah.
So I have...
I'm going to take 2 regular ones then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get 2 of those. So
Sorry, it's 2 for
40,
75.
150.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, 1 for 75.
So I'm going to get 2.
2
Yeah,
for 150.
So 50, yeah. 150 is 2.
I'll get 2 then.
Okay.
For
So you
150.
guys can stock up on potions.
Bit of potion.
In that place where we're buying the potions,
Yes.
could I hold up the potion I got from Lilith to them and just see if they recognise it, or if it's any similar to what they're selling to everyone else?
He will examine it. He explains it's rather crudely made. It has some of the potency of a greater healing potion, but none of the finesse, so it will heal, but not to the same extent.
Okay.
It basically is 3d4 plus 3.
Can I also buy a replacement...
So it's like in between a standard
Yeah.
and a greater.
can I buy a replacement quill and some paper?
Yes. That's easily done. Like 5 gold.
I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Ulrich, I'm going to.
Before you come in back into the city, he does take all the armor
Oh,
off,
yeah.
and he hands the weapons back in, because he can't be seen in the city with them.
I'm going to go to a swordsmith, ask for a scabbard that I can attach to my belt for this one of the short swords, and say, is there anything you can do to touch this up?
He looks at it, is like, it's quite a noble, proud thing, man. This will take me weeks to clean up. I have far better blades, I can sell you.
It's
A warrior of your
yes.
prestige should not be using
How
a blade
much
like this.
for your
20 gold for a fine piece of steel.
with the scabbard?
With scabbard, yes.
Very well.
You're dressed as a red wizard, can't you just go up there and take one?
Not sitting in a wagon, he is much more obviously a man in armour with a red wizard robe on top.
Okay.
In the wagon it was easier to hide because you're kind of hunched up, you can pull the head low. Walking around, clang, 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 clang.
fair enough.
Huge fucking great sword. Can you put a scabbard on my armour, please?
It's magical.
yeah. No, so 20 gold and he'll make you a fine short sword.
Okay. I'm going to keep that on my person.
So he can grab it if he needs
Yes.
to. Okay.
That's it.
He actually, while you're talking, Ulrich will come up and be like, while you're talking to the smith, he's like, Master, you also asked me to fetch some replacement armor plates for when your armor is damaged. I must remind you. As well as leather straps. Is it all right if I speak with the master? It's the other lord.
Yes.
My lord, and he turns to the armor smith. I require additional armor plating to repair my master's armor. It is damaged and leather straps we require. And he lists off like a bunch of requirements. The man is curious. He's just like, I can supply those. It will cost 30 gold, perhaps.
I just throw it.
Very well. I shall have
Counter.
He goes over. He's like, slave, come and pick up your master's belongings. And Ulrich goes up and he's like, of course. And he goes up and eventually a big pile of things is brought over to him.
Excellent.
And he comes over, he bows. And then as you get out the store, he just turns, he's like, Master Taran, I believe I can perhaps forge these into something I can wear under a slave's tunic.
In the downtime, please work on it.
Yes,
that's your top priority.
If we can go to the tavern, I believe I can use a room there.
We'll go early, yes,
Very well.
ahead of everybody else. Okay, cool.
Okay. So you guys make your way back to the Black Embrace?
Yep.
You
Okay.
just spent your gold? Just
I spent my own here.
well, I'm saying he spent your gold for armor.
But it's, if he's arming him, he's,
I get his soul, so.
Oh yeah, true.
Let's be honest, that's probably going to happen, isn't it? So he sits in the back of a room and you can see him basically like strapping leather straps and armor, and he's kind of riveting the plates on, like basically fixing it up with an armor repair kit. And he's basically making like a very thin tunic kind of breastplate that goes under his slave tunic. And then he gets sleeves, and he puts like upper plates around his upper arms and around his upper legs and thighs. And he makes it quite well, quite quickly. It's not going to protect him massively, but it's quiet as well, and it just protects him a little bit.
I'll just be sat at the bar, curiously watching and intrigued. By
Tombs just lets him. Like, Tombs doesn't even question it.
Just drink whatever
Okay.
is provided.
Okay, so after a few hours, a woman who doesn't look like anybody you recognise enters and then quickly shifts back into Lilith as she comes and sits next to you.
Oh, cool. Okay.
She sits down. She's like, "Oh, I didn't give you a fright, did I? No."
Oh well. A little bit, yeah.
And she's like, "Good. I've located the daughter. She has a fairly like many Thayans. I investigated her bathing schedule. Many of them here frequently, they bath almost regularly, every few hours or so, 3-4 hours they bath at one of the public houses. The daughter is extremely fastidious herself. Being a mage, she is of some skill, I should warn you, but it does mean that she travels mostly without guards, and the baths she travels with none. There will be other Thayans there, but they should be easily dealable with. It would be likely the best time to strike. She has a fairly standard schedule. We can anticipate where she will be.
Is there a time in the evening where she does her final bathing?
Yes, of course, yes.
Where it's the
Where it
transition?
may be quieter, right?
Yes, about 10 p.m. they normally take their late bath.
And that would be past sundown, where there would be undead guards rather than...
There will be outside. Undead are not allowed within the public baths, for fear of tainting the water, of course.
Also less likely to care about what happens.
The only difference there is perhaps infiltrating yourselves may be more difficult, as stomping around in armour will be obviously drawing attraction. But I believe that perhaps someone like Lady Malice, myself, even Worthless, or perhaps even the gnome, could all easily disguise ourselves and would not be as combatly impaired as perhaps you might, Taran.
I can be ready in our wagon.
There is a connecting alley. You will need to go through several other rooms, but you could reach us fairly quickly.
Very well. Seems like the best option we have.
The bath that she goes to, do you happen to know how easy it is to access?
Quite easy. Many of the Thayans, to them bathing it's such an important part of their culture that actually many do not see it as an opportunity for things like assassinations. There is almost a written rule of respect and civility that you are not to attack someone whilst they are becoming clean. A perfect opportunity for us, being non-Thayans, I believe.
We don't follow their rules, clearly.
Indeed. So, I believe that it is somewhat secure. There may be guards for other Thayans outside. If we are clever, we might be able to find a way from barring them gaining access.
With your research and detective work,
Yes.
are there any other Thayans, Red Wizards, that she was with that you could assume the form of?
Indeed there is. There is a young man. I will need to find some male clothing. A young man that she frequents with. I left him in a bit of a daze. I charmed him and left him in his quarters and instructed him not to leave there for the rest of the...
And you can manipulate her with his form.
Indeed. I intended to have her lead her there, make sure that she is in the right place, and be primed to strike when required.
make it quite surprising.
When we were attacked by assassins, they used some sort of... Was it a magical gas or...?
It was a knockout type sleep
Dot.
Interesting.
potion. It had no effect on myself.
It was
Or
like a sleep grenade.
you.
Yeah, well,
Did it?
we resist it. It didn't affect you because
Didn't
it was,
affect me
you
because
can't
of
be-
my
Very,
ancestry.
yes. The point, gnome.
Well, I mean, we could just reuse their strategy.
Do you
Simply-
have such magic?
Do you?
I do not.
Well, just throwing it out there.
Any other suggestions?
Knockout drops?
My plan was to make sure that Velix does not have her arcane focus when you strike. That will prevent her from casting a majority of her spells.
It would be simple cantrips and such.
I expect so.
What is her arcane focus?
She wears a bejeweled necklace around her neck. It will be difficult to get hold of, but I will do my best.
Not if we
I
all,
cannot make promises.
Not if we all
Very
strike at the
persuasive
same
male.
time.
A very persuasive male. creature.
Indeed, the reason I have taken that form. She, unfortunately, is... I don't think I'll be able to charm her. She is very strong-willed. I picked the male because he was... well, he was ogling me before I even spoke to him, so I knew that he would be quite susceptible, whereas Velix is a bit more tricky.
You could always take the Lovitar approach. We know she's a follower.
I considered that, however, the priestesses are very difficult there. It seemed better to go with one of the allies that she has.
Fair enough.
And with my minor magical talents, I am at least able to pose as a wizard temporarily.
The priests in that temple will obviously also be suspicious of us after we've asked the
Indeed.
name of her and they left their books open. They may know that we were targeting.
I would recommend that you have a very quick escape planned once we have this woman, where I can then send a ransom to this callous, and then a meeting can be arranged. But you should be prepared to leave Byzantor very quickly. Do you have methods of escaping the city?
I have a horse.
That will not suffice. The Fae is landlocked away from most of the Forgotten Realms.
Oh,
I would
the
recommend you get a
airship.
ship.
The
Or
airship.
we could take her to Valix.
Yes, that would also suffice. She has a ship. She also has a rather large force of undead that could be used as a distraction.
That is true.
Yeah, I
we
think the
unleash-
ship is the place to go primarily. When we are then away from the city, we can arrange our own transport back to where we need to be.
I would recommend that you head to the west. An old enemy of Thay, a kingdom there, they would likely give you safe harbour and help you find passage back to
Would
the
Callus
Sword
be
Coast.
willing to go to the enemy's territory?
Likely he will, yes, but not for the exchange. You will need to do that within Byzantor. But I imagine that it will be difficult for him to convince them to send armies after you.
Right.
Sastam is clever, but he will not risk open warfare.
We need to inform Valix of our plan then.
Yes,
Valix.
so that she's ready to depart.
Yes?
I'm sure she'll be happy with the progress we've been making. And she'll
indeed.
be willing to help us.
So, we release her army of the undead onto the town of Byzantor.
Note, it is not an army. It is a large force. Enough to keep perhaps a few dock guards busy for some time.
We release a force of undead into the town of Byzantor
While we make our getaway.
while we attack and kidnap
No,
someone.
we do that separately. We
So, we claim
we kidnap, we set up a meeting, and then when that meeting is over and we have what we need from Callus,
he takes his
we
daughter
then
back
escape quickly
with the undead as
on
a
the
distraction.
boat.
We get what we want from him.
Tolshank, do you even listen?
I've had a lot of pickle juice since I've been here.
Worthless's head is all scrambled here, there, everywhere, but Worthless understands the plan. What's your excuse?
Pickle juice.
Pickle juice.
No, you were rather silly back at the fort. Too many knocks on the head.
Silly.
Quite honestly, I think that might be the cause. How are you feeling there?
Hungry hands for gold and trinkets.
I like gold.
Do you like deadly toxins?
Oh, you should all leave the poor gnome alone. He's just a greedy little soul.
Yes. I have had some pickle juice, though, I will admit that.
I glare at Tolshank like I've never glared at him before.
Have I done something?
Burning holes through.
I've still got kind of like scars down there where like all that poison kind of.
Still, we need to make preparations.
Spider mouse is fine.
I shall go and lead.
Spider-Man,
Well, we have a few
Spider-Man.
hours until this evening. I can go and report to Alex your nature of plans. The bathhouse is located, and she gives you an address because I don't have the name of the bathhouse prepared. I'll have it for the next
22
episode.
Bathhouse Street.
22B Bath Street. Yes.
I get that.
She basically gives you the location of this bath, this opulent sort of marble bathhouse, to go and investigate as you wish. For the sake of time, we'll handle all that stuff out of episode. So that when we can come back in, we're literally going to kick off with you guys. The whole kidnapping thing will kick off.
Taran lays out a plan of he will be the getaway wagon. He will be on standby. He's going to send Ulrich through the corridors to be like the mediator, midpoint, to like, come on, come through. And then if there's any problems, Ulrich feeds that to me. That's... And you guys go in because you're stealthy and good.
As a point, since you bonded with Soot, Soot talks to you. Not like, that. He's like, Master, how can Soot help?
Telepathic.
Telepathic. Only you can hear him. And he's like, yes.
We need to work on your flying, Soot, but I believe I can use you.
Soot can fly. He like
Funny
flops
little
around.
creature.
What's it doing? What's he doing?
I think it's just having a little dance. Yeah.
Yes. Just so you know that you can talk to him and he talks back.
Cool. Sweet. I want to. I want to eventually teach him how to fly a little bit better than he currently
Okay.
can.
Yeah, it'll take a long time. Not time that I think.
No,
we have,
that's
but
fair enough. But
maybe if we come back to these characters one
Do
day,
you
we can be
relay
better at fighting.
to us that you can see through his eyes or anything like that? Or do you learn that? Or...
Do you tell him?
I think it's still relatively new to me, so like
He's
I
also
don't
quite
know the
big.
extent. Also, I don't want to give away exactly how much I'm enjoying having Soot around.
Oh, okay.
Like
'Cause
you
Taryn-
might have seen every now and then, I have like my hand in my cloak pocket, and I'm
You're just
sort of
like rubbing his head,
rubbing his
scratching
head a
his
little bit
head.
and things like that. But
likes
more
it.
often than not, I'm just
He
like,
loves it.
Werther's just thinks you're touching yourself.
yeah,
Dirty
I'm
little
just
boy.
like,
Deep nose. And you just hear it.
There he goes.
Gone. Mark's gone.
Tom's
It
going.
was the face that you pulled.
Was that worse than me last
Slayed me.
episode?
It slayed me.
End the
No, it wasn't as bad as that. No,
Jesus.
like you still have the one. Well, we're going to have to end it there, unfortunately.
What is wrong with this end of the table?
I don't know.
You guys
too.
need to up your game.
Is
Well-
this campaign in general?
It's been great. It's been great.
this,
I love
yeah.
it.
It's been good.
It's been good. Right, well, thank you very much for watching Dead Reckoning. That's all of us for watching. Next week, it's the final episode. I know it doesn't feel like it, but it is. That's going to be it for this mini-series that we're going to be running. So join us for that. Don't forget you can watch us do more D&D on our stream, High Rollers, twitch.tv/Yogscast every Sunday at 5 p.m. GMT, which is 9 a.m. PST. So you can watch that there.
That's early.
You can follow us on Twitter at HighRollersD&D to find out what we're doing. And
And you can always catch
if
up
you
on all the
want
VODs
to
as well.
Yeah.
read about the death curse and things like that, which is what this campaign is based on, then pick up a copy of Tomb of Annihilation because it's pretty
really
fun.
good.
And watch our
pretty
campaign.
brutal.
You want to see us do like a semi-run through of it as well?
Like
So-
a very whistle-stop
Whistle-stop
touching
tour.
points.
There's
Yeah.
a 10-episode series that we did on D&D.
Yeah, called Uncharted Territory, so you
yeah.
can watch that there. And yeah, that's it from us. We'll see you next time. Bye!